Hello everybody, just waiting for the stream to kick in before I do the intro here. Tuning in myself. There we go. Welcome to the show, I'm SM Sith Lord. This is the weekly build stream that goes down right here on twitch.tv/Somnium space. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Periscope or YouTube, hello, welcome everybody. Usually it's a 2-hour build session here on this build stream where I build something freestyle or random, usually. However, today, like many other times, we have something special to do. Special and specific. So, this build here that we built a few weeks ago now, it is time to repurpose this thing some, put some new media in here, adjust it, make it a little fresh for a new event that's going to be going down on there, I believe this weekend. So, I have new images to put in here, kind of a new theme, although it is a party, so it still goes with the whole club theme. And I need to save enough parcel credits to put the teleporter on it as well, so people can teleport here. But besides that, we're going to have some fun coming in here and decorating this thing for an event. Now, I have to talk about how before an event happens on one of these builds, this happens. There's somebody that comes in and they decorate the place and get it ready for the party. You know, they hang the little streamers coming from the ceiling to make it look like a party. So let's do that. Let me make sure that I have my files that I'm trying to put in here ready to go. I should. I do. And I'm going to put the Twitch in here. And cool. Alright, so let's grab some of these textures that I have waiting. For the Tron Club. Oops. Okay. Not seeing anything too portrait, so nothing really suitable to replace that big GIF behind the stage with, although that GIF's pretty awesome there. There is a nice large landscape image there though, 2 of them. So I'll have to think of a good place to put those. And also redecorate some. Now, I want images on the outside and on the inside, so let's start getting these in here. That one. Just upload it. Texture. I think it was a JPEG. And I want the image to be full bright, so instead of using it as a texture, I'm going to put it on a media object. Like so. And stretch it out some. Okay. And let's get some of these other textures up there as well. Let's see, I don't think I used that one yet. Or that one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have all 6 up here? I do. Let's get them in the world. Excuse me. This one. Okay, so we got to make some really interesting looking displays for those images, and figure out where we're going to put them. We might put them in here multiple times. Maybe not, though. I want to keep 50 parcel credits open, so I'm going to have to remove a light or two. Actually, just one should be good. This one up here? Yeah, we'll start with removing this one. To figure out how to get multi-purpose out of this light. Like so, perhaps? Okay, now we have lots of parcel credits to work with because we want to keep it under 800 today, so we can put the teleporter back on there. Okay, so we could put a lot of big images on the outside. That's great for attracting people in, but what are they going to look at when they get in? So we're going to need some images on the outside and on the inside. But for sure, right over here is a good place for an image because you can see it in the same shot as the stage. So let's put one of these in there. And we're going to have to make a display for it. Maybe instead of against the wall, we should give it a stand sitting in front of all that. Excuse me. Okay. that's new. Kind of like a zigzag neon going around it. That's cool. Okay, so that's 1 neon and 3 shapes. It's not bad. That's not a lot. That's not too many items for one display. Let's make it at an angle. That looks good there. Thinking maybe we should put one in the middle of the dance floor. I don't know. Let's put another one of these kinds of displays on the other side, perhaps. Which image would we put on the other side? Not the blue one. Maybe the green one. How about this one? Okay, these speakers are not very symmetrical. Now, are they? Or not? Should probably move the whole stage over a little bit. Yeah, that might make sense. I think this speaker's even tilted more, rotated more than the other one. Maybe not. Either way, can we pull this thing away from the wall now? Yeah, that looks better over here. Okay, let's do it. Let's move the stage over. Okay, swap that image out for this one. Okay, what other images do we have that are unused so far? Couple. And I feel like this side of the building is underutilized. So I need to rearrange the lighting on this side of the building and add some landmarks, some kind of detail there that makes this not just the space in between or the space behind, but it makes it the destination of the room. So, one moment. So, how about a bar? Let's see, can I do a bar in under 30 parcel credits? Maybe. Now, I've done a bar before, so maybe if I go into textures here, I could find a row of bottles? That would, hey, there's one. Well, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Might have to get on the internet and look for a new picture of a row of beverages. Then if I did that, I could have the row of beverages. So that'd be the one parcel credit with that as a texture. I'm counting how many shapes I would use to make this thing. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this could work out. All right, so let's make a bar as a centerpiece over here. But before I make the bar, should we position some more of the images? Not yet. Let's make the bar first. Because if the bar turns out really cool, I'm going to be putting the images around the bar. If it turns out to be a centerpiece like I'm hoping. Now I need to make sure that this is the right height for a person. How will I do that? Well, I'm going to get a door and put the door in the world. A person fits through a door fairly snugly. So a door is about the height of a tall person. Perhaps the height of a person that's a little bit too tall to comfortably walk through doors. But the actual people aren't that big. So the actual people can comfortably walk through the doors. Their head goes to about here, where I'm wiggling my mouse. Yeah, that's getting picked up. Right about there, in the 3D perspective there. So their width, actually I don't care about the height so much. The width, they fit through the door sideways too. So their person is a little bit less wide than the door. So I'm gonna make the outside of this bar line up so a person can actually stand in between the bottles and the bar. And they can be the bartender. So using the door as a measurement there for the width. Okay, now the height of a person is going to come into play a little bit here. Actually, I'll make this the height of a wall. And then this thing we'll pretend it already has the bottle texture on it that I have not found yet. So let's pretend the bricks are the bottle texture. Bottle texture is going to go from about waist height. Let me scale it out a little bit so it's on the outside there. And it's going to go from about waist height to there. Okay, so that potentially could be the bar. I'm going to have to get in there and walk around to make sure that it would be the right size if that's the bar. But I also need to adjust the floor here. Thinking this should go like that. Tie it together. So I want a neon strip going along the outside of this bar shape. I'm going to do that with using only one neon by positioning my neon in the middle and just scaling it out so it protrudes off out of each side. Like this. Poking out on each side. Almost. There we go. Then I'm going to want to poke it out on the other sides a little bit as well. So let me get it near where I want it. It's starting to look like a strip now. It's just not long enough. There we go. That's probably going to end up being taller. I'm going to have to find that bottles texture pretty soon. I think all of this is supposed to be higher up now, because I raised the height of the floor, which is one reason why it looks so low. Okay. I'm looking for anything to use as a bottle, so I'll just grab the old bottles that I had here that were like, oh wait, they were GIF, so they're not going to be here. I gotta find that texture. Like, next step. The next step after testing this out in VR, so I can be sure that the size of the counter looks right. If it's not too low, not too high, that kind of stuff. So let me click save. Let me grab my quest. And I'm actually going to just connect with AirLink to play. render the video to the headset. Tell me I'm charged up. Come on. No, I'm not charged up. So I'm going to plug this in, then get back to working on the bar there. Hopefully, I can use it while it's plugged in and charging. Find out. Okay, so while that's charging or starting up, whichever it's deciding to do right now, let's get back to working on this thing. Let's spawn a handrail in there for scale until I can walk around there in person. So this bar looks about right. Maybe it's a little bit low though, because we're going to be making some bar stools here. Some very simple yet cool looking bar stools, but I need to find a texture for this bar. So I'm going to search for just an image of texture all of bodies. That's pretty cool looking. As is that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and then I would also need the bottles to be not going all the way to the front if I did it like this. So maybe something like that. Now I need to compare that to how it would look on an image. Because the bright colored bottles might be cool enough to spend 10 parcel credits on so they can glow. Now I'd want 10 because I'd want it on there twice. I want to use the same image twice so I can have it on both sides. And then we compare it to the other side. Dim versus bright. I think the bright is what turns it into a centerpiece there, so I need to do that. Now, this is pretty good. I just need to remove that weird outline that goes around everything. And remove the texture and re-upload it. Hey, that was probably my quest. Making that bloop bloop noise. There we go. That's looking better. Now, do I want to do anything else with this texture? I think we're good there. We don't need that anymore. We need another one of these over here. Rotated 180 and looking nice. Rotated 180 and now we're looking nice. All right. Excuse me. Okay, I need to get in there and see if that's way too huge or not. It might be. Those might be gigantic bottles. Let's find out. At 1%. Is that enough to turn on? No. Maybe. Okay. I don't remember it saying my controllers need to recharge, but let's just postpone that again while it sits there charging some more. But I do need to walk around here and see the size of this because these bottles do look too big. And if they are too big, I need to just not shrink them down, but make them smaller. Like this. like that. Okay, then we're just gonna go here, we're gonna delete that, we're gonna assign the new version of it. Like so. Whoa. Move the whole bar over? Do I want to move the whole bar over? Not really. Okay, let's get a chair down there and then make a bar stool. Try to get some scaling from that. We got some chairs. Oh, wait a second. There's already a bar stool.
All right. I'll tell you the truth.
See how that compares with the chair. With these chairs. So this one's actually a little bit lower than the bar, so it's like a regular chair height.
Remember all the happy times we had? They're very much alike. Remember all the happy times we had? They're very much alike. All right. I'll tell you the truth.
I don't want to load it up with too many bar stools. So I'll probably just put one more on the other side after this. These all should be a little taller. Not too tall though. Now to further make this thing a centerpiece, I'm going to try to add this support beam coming all the way down from the ceiling down to the top of this bar, as if this bar is what holds the entire building up. Gotta round these edges off. They're too blunt. I might need to rework the dance floor a little bit. Okay, we're looking good. The roundness adds some things. I need to be careful with my parcel credits, but I am. I still have 11 parcel credits left to work with here. I wish I could get into this thing in my headset. I might have to walk around it in web instead. Actually, I should just do that. I'll try one more time and see if my headset wants... Oh, there's my controllers. This could be it. That's good. That's me. All right, I should be good to go. Yeah, it's opening up on my computer here. Let me click save before I jump into VR. This is awesome for me because I didn't have a GPU in my gaming computer here that could run VR for the longest time. I only had a 3 gigabyte GPU. But now, as of a couple weeks ago, I could do this and drop in to VR. And it runs super smooth for me. Okay, let's get in there and check out the bar. This is pretty good. The bar could be a little higher. Just a little. Let's try standing in there. Yes, I could stand in here. These bottles are a little large, but not comically large. Okay, yeah, this looks good. The bar, I could raise it a couple inches. I think I'll do that. Let's raise it a couple inches and then I'll drop back into VR just to make sure that I like it. Awesome, I'm able to do that when I was only at 1% charged earlier. Raise these up a couple inches. Yeah, that's good. Okay. We could use an image right there. In VR, when you get this close, you definitely can read it. I might want to rearrange the dance floor here and get a round image and put it over here and kind of attract more attention to this specific area. Yeah, let's do that. And I think we'll do that instead of drawing everybody out into the patio area. Because if we do that, and we actually eliminated the patio area, if that was possible. Well, I don't know. Patio area, it uses a lot of images. So if I cut down on the amount of images it uses out here, and maybe move one of the lights closer to the inside. I just want to make that the focus of attention. Let me see here. I could do some cool things here. I could do a GIF that's not a circle, but it's a half circle. Or a smaller one that is a full circle. I think the half circle one might look cooler though. Just imagining this. Let's see if I could raise this up. Could I raise this up? Yeah, I could raise this up and make that a step. Could. How would it look over here? It look a little weird, but it'd work. It's kind of good where it is though. Definitely want to get an image over there and These things didn't end up looking as cool as I thought they would look here with the solid white here. So we got to change the color on those. Probably to match the speakers next to them. Yeah. Okay, so let me do that. Put the image over here and then try it again. Maybe that's a little too trippy, but we'll use it for now. Select all this stuff and move it forward some because it's too close to the wall and sticking through the other side. That looks cool. Okay, let's try this. Not that one. This orb. I hate how they added GIFs with images on this site. Okay, so we're gonna try this orb. See if it's too huge to use or not. That's good. Oh, that's trippy. Perhaps too trippy. That's better. This orb here I'm not so sure about. Well, that doesn't look the coolest. It's pretty cool though. So what if I just raised that part up a little bit, gave it one more platform there, and cut it off flat there? That still look cool, right? Trying to imagine it in my head. Yeah, this looks cool. All right, let's continue this thing off side here. break that one image into 2 images? Not sure. Okay, the bar area is looking good. Awesome, that's the new focal point. Freed up some partial credits by changing the dance floor. Could free up some more partial credits out there. Let's see. We need more art displays. Over there seems like a good place for one, but I don't know if there's room with the stairs. Sure, there's room. Let's make it work. And then I'll replace that image with this one. Cool. That looks cool. Okay. All the images are in just about. Let's keep working with this. This image down here, this is kind of like a focal point, this wall over here. And it has just a generic image in it. Maybe it should have this image. Okay, this actually looks good up here. Seems like the right place for it. So you come in to the party going on here. Don't know if it's the pre-sale party or the public party, but you're coming into one of them. And then you got the images all around. Awesome. It looks cool in here. Very bright and colorful. Got the stage. Looking good. Let me walk in there in VR just to give it a check. It's crazy. I do my unlock pattern here, and if you stream yourself doing your physical gesture of an unlock pattern, everybody watching your stream sees your physical gesture of an unlock pattern. What's the sense of that? It should be something like there's a dot that's wandering randomly around in a circle, and you have to raise your hand when it's over a certain number or something. That way you're doing the same from the outside observer, you're just doing the same gesture at like a seemingly random interval. And they would actually have to make that little thing random too, so you couldn't just time the amount between the person raising their hand. I don't know, man. It just seems really weird how the password to unlock the quest, you're waving your hand around for everybody to see. Oh, cool. I don't even know if I want to get rid of those TVs, because those TVs look really awesome out there, I think. That picture up there, I could push against the wall. This is looking good. Standing in here as the bartender. Awesome. Maybe I want to get some drinks in here if I could free up some parcel credits for that. I need to make the bottles closer to the wall over here because they're sticking out on this side. Let me check the other side. I think the other side they're nice and tight. Yeah, here they're good. The other side they're not. And like a neon there would be cool, or maybe an image. This looks cool on the floor, for sure. Wow, that's HD. Gear face. Okay, let's fix that. And then this speaker is floating off the ground. We gotta fix that. Let me check the other speaker. Is it floating off the ground too? Yeah, so both of the little speakers I have to adjust so they're not floating off the ground. Looking good up here on the stage. Oh, this is super immersive in VR. Who would have thought? VR is immersive. Okay. Fix those two speakers. Did I have anything else yet? The image placement looks good. Fix that stuff up there. And maybe make a couple more of those things. That weird thing over there, the ceiling decor. It would add a lot if I added another one of those over there. So let's do that. That's only 2 parcel credits, 2 shapes. Now out there, I kind of don't want to touch it at all because the TVs look so awesome. If you happen to wander out here to look at the TVs, you got this awesome dance floor here. Okay, I gotta get the Twitter. Should I get the Twitter in here? The actual Twitter? I don't know. Maybe I'll put the Twitter or the Twitch stream over there. That's what that might be replaced with. And if it's replaced with that, I'll change the layering so the glow is behind it. But for right now, I gotta fix these 2 speakers. I gotta adjust the image up there and check out what URLs I have to spawn. So I got all the images in, but there's also some other stuff. Oh, and that! I gotta fix that too. Okay. Copy that thing. All right, let's do those. Hello, GameScope. How are you doing? Yes, I do check the chat. Sorry, I check it intermittently. Also, let me check the. Hello, everybody in the YouTube chat. Also, okay, parcel credits. Here's what you need to know to understand parcel credits. Somnium space here is a single instance shared persistent world, meaning that anything that you build is in the world with everything that everybody else builds. There's one world and everybody shares it. So each one of these little lots, these parcels that you see the green lines for, right now I'm in the builder, so it looks like I'm the only one here. But when you get into world, there's people all around me. In this area, all of those little parcels have buildings on them. So you have all of these neighbors around you where everybody is on their parcel building whatever they want. So to make sure that things don't get lagged down, that one person doesn't spawn 1,000 lights on his parcel, making it really laggy to walk by in game, there's this concept of credits here. You can think of them as performance credits, parcel credits. And it even says, if you hover it over it here, that it's a visualization of the technical limits so that you don't do things like spawn 1,000 lights on your little parcel. So with the performance credits, is a way to think of them here, you get a certain amount depending on how large your parcel is. This is an extra large parcel, so it has 850 parcel credits or optimization or performance credits in it. Each object you spawn costs a different amount depending on how much performance impact it would have on somebody's computer, like their GPU and CPU and stuff. So if you just spawn a shape, it costs you 1 credit. It shows you the credits right here when you mouse over a shape. Shapes only cost 1 credit. So if you're building something with shapes, 850 is a huge amount of shapes to use, but you're not going to build something usually that is just shapes. So what about other things that might cost more for performance reasons? Well, you look at glass. Glass is a transparent texture. That's like on a game engine level, it's a transparent texture, so it's more resource intensive to render. So it costs 10 parcel credits. Now, still, you had 850 to work with total, so you could do a lot. But 10 parcel credits isn't that bad for how cool glass is. I use glass in 2 places here. I use it as this big wall, and there's an invisible glass surface here with the GIF in it. Now let's look at the stuff that's big. By the way, blockchain items, it costs 5 parcel credits to spawn like a GIF. Same thing with media. If you're just going to spawn an image, it costs 5 parcel credits to spawn an image. Now, if you get into something like a video, like a YouTube video or something like that, then that's going to cost 50 parcel credits. If you're just going to spawn the audio, it's going to cost 30. And then there's things like 360 videos, 360 images, web browser, which I might spawn in a minute, and the microphone costs 30. Now the microphone is pretty unique. When you stand in the microphone's little area, it amplifies your voice to everybody else at a larger radius. I think when you click on it, it shows you the radius. Yeah, it amplifies you to that radius there. So that's pretty cool. It's not kind of the same category as showing images or something. It's more like an interactive thing, which is nice. Yeah, basically it's something to stop spamming. Now, I gotta tell you, if there was no parcel credit limits, I would have 100 lights in here, just because lights look cool. So I would be guilty of spamming if that limit wasn't there. So it's kind of nice how it has the gauge there. That it starts off green and then it turns, like yellow and then orange and then red. So as you're building, you always have that little subconscious colored reminder there of how close you are to tipping the scale. Okay, I want to keep 50 parcel credits open at the end, and it looks like I'm on track to do that. So let me make a couple changes that I had planned here. These things were too tall, or they were floating off the ground. This one needed to be adjusted. Before I do that, I wanted to make a clone of this thing. put this thing up against the wall at perhaps a slant. Let me jump into VR there. See how things are looking. Up there, I may, I don't know what's going to be up there yet. So I don't want to too carefully position this thing. I'll go ahead and throw it up against the wall. Let's check out this link that I have. This is the Twitch stream. Awesome. Okay. This Twitch stream needs to get in there. I think that it should still be out there. And if you're in here, you're partying, you're listening to the person on the stage, and if you're watching the Twitch, you're looking out there. Now we could change that and we could move the actual stream over here to be against the wall, behind the microphone. That's awesome too. That might be super awesome. Let me think. I'll put it out there for now, and it's not really too much work to switch it over here. We want it to occur in here. I guess it kind of depends on if the Twitch stream is going to be going down the whole time that the event's happening, or if it's just going to be like something that happens during the event, but not the whole duration. So I need to free up 50 parcel credits to spawn some media in here. Yeah. That means I probably need to erase a light. I like lights, so it's going to be difficult for me to choose a light to remove. Now, I could probably remove this light and add an animated image here to attract people to the door, or a fully lit GIF. I'm thinking either removing that one or removing this one. I'll remove this one. It'll be dark outside, only at nighttime though. I think that's the one. Okay, so now I have 50 more parcel credits to work with. I can put this Twitch stream in there, no problem. You want to run an event with 2K guests in Metaverse. Can Somnium Space handle this? I'm not sure what the limit in the desktop client is, but it sounds perhaps manageable. I don't know though. 2,000, that many people in one instance. I'm not sure what the limitations would be. You'd have to talk to people in the Discord about that. Yeah, and then you'd have to figure out where you wanted to have your event in. Because I'll tell you, 2,000 people are not going to fit on one parcel. So if you're going to have like a huge event that's going to be like Burning Man and have giant attendance like that, you're going to want to have a whole cluster of parcels decked out for it for people to be hanging out on. Because if you put 2,000 people in a room this size, that's a packed house. It's too packed of a house for this area. Okay. The video. Oh no, the Twitch stream. I wonder if I could spawn the Twitch stream as a video. I'll probably spawn it as a website. Yeah, put it as a website. Perfect. Yeah, well, Somnium being a single instance shared persistent world, when you're thinking of an event that has 2,000 people, you got to be thinking differently than a regular like game where you would just break into instances and everybody would be partying in like different instances of the server. Since Somnium single instance, if you're gonna have that many people, you got to be thinking a large area to house those people. Actually, over there that I'm circling with my mouse next to City Center, which you can actually drop into Somnium desktop client and go check that out firsthand. That's where I see some really big concerts happening, like the New Year's. I think it was the New Year's concert. No, it wasn't New Year's. It was before New Year's. Some event went down, and I went there in VR. It was pretty awesome seeing all the particles and everything in VR. But over there, it's like Burning Man. I mentioned Burning Man. Well, that's kind of like Burning Man because it's a big open area. There's a couple stages there. Really cool stages where there's like videos playing all over the place when the events go down. And there's like tiers of places for people to stand. That kind of stuff is what you got to be thinking if you think of a large event in this kind of platform. Because it's not like 2,000 people being in a Counter-Strike server where there's really only like 20 people in each Counter-Strike server. VR and PC and web versions are all different. Not exactly. So the desktop version is very similar to the other versions where you're in the single instance shared persistent world. Because you run that on your dedicated VR device or a gaming computer or something like that. Now, the web client is one parcel at a time, because that runs on like old mobile phones or just in a web browser on a crappy old computer that's not a gaming computer. So when you go to your parcel in the web, it's one parcel, but when you, it's like the sister to a parcel that's in the open world though. And if you went to it in an open world, then it's all of the parcels next to each other and you have to go to your parcel, like either walk to it, drive to it, kayak to it, glide to it. All of these are actual locomotion methods that they have in the game, in the Somnium world here. And it's not hard to walk to either, because not this one, because it's right there from City Center. Or you can teleport to it, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in this parcel also. There's going to be a teleport destination here that when you spawn at City Center or anywhere else where there's a teleport, you go and you teleport over here. And it's pretty interesting because the teleporters are actually NFT items that people own. You own an NFT teleport destination, you put it on your parcel. Now, there's not an infinite amount of these teleport destinations. There's only so many of them that exist on whatever parcel the owners decide to put them on. So you usually, as a user, you're going to teleport to the nearest teleport destination to where you actually want to go. So if you own one of these teleporters, teleport destination objects, and you put it on your parcel, you're likely to have people come to your parcel who aren't even there to see your parcel. It's kind of like foot traffic. They're just walking through, but because you have this teleport, that's where people are teleporting to walk to whatever event they're going to nearby. So it's interesting how the NFT objects, you know, the objects, there's not an infinite amount of them, they come into play in an actual functional way. And that's all because of the open world. When it's a single instance thing, like in web, when you just go to one parcel at a time, teleporters are more just for looks. But when you're in the open world like this, the shared world, then they start making sense. No, not yet. You can't see the... Well, yes. The non-VR people and the VR people, they're definitely in the same instance. They're seeing each other. They're talking to each other. Because, again, they're both in the open world. They're in the world that has everybody. Now, only in web are you only going to see web players, because you're only on that one parcel. We're working on a way to have cross-play between the web people and the people that are in the open world. But right now, when you're on a web parcel, you only see one parcel. If you're in the web browser viewing it, you only see one parcel, and you only see the other people that are on web on that parcel. Okay, click save there. I don't know how I ended up with more parcel credits than I expect. Oh, because I deleted the whole light, but then I replaced it. I still have like 14 parcel credits here to work with. That's not a small amount. I mean, that's almost 3 animated images there. Let me click save and check this out. Also, I'll click upload. And as soon as I click upload, you can check this build out in the web parcel. Because while the web parcels and the open worlds, they don't have a crossplay with the players yet, the builds absolutely do. So as soon as this gets published, as it's doing right now, to the open world, I'll put the link into chat and you can check it out in your web browser. And it's the same thing that people in the open world will see. Absolutely. Well, you would do that with an image. Okay, first of all, there's a couple ways that you could build on your land in Somnium here. I'm doing easy mode, where I'm placing primitives down in this super easy to use editor that really I think anybody could use it after they spend a few minutes trying it out and learning what it's like to rescale blocks and position them. After you figure that out, it's a lot like playing with those wooden blocks when you were a kid. Not even as complex as Legos. Just those big wooden blocks that you stack in different ways. Then you start learning things like, hey, since these aren't physical blocks, I can actually set them inside of each other like I do over here. And you can do interesting things just by mashing these objects inside of each other. Then you figure out stuff about scaling and spawning the different objects. It really, anybody could open up the Somnium Builder here and create some stuff with it. This is easy mode, I call it, and I'll show you how I would make a flame in easy mode here. I do it all the time because fire's awesome. Now, the other way, if you have the kind of 3D artist skills, or you have a 3D artist that knows how to use something like Blender or Cinema 4D or 3ds Max, or they can use the Unity SDK, the Somnium Unity SDK. And if you do that, you can actually use the Unity editor to import your own models, so you don't have to use prefab. You can have completely custom stuff and build your parcel, your open world parcel in Unity using all those other programs like Cinema 4D and Photoshop and all that to make your textures. Hard mode is what I call that, because that's just like regular game design. But if you have those skills, you can do that and make a super unique looking parcel using the Unity SDK. Now I try to make my parcels look super unique even using the easy mode, but sometimes my builds do get shown up by those Unity builds. Unity builds are mind-blowing. Okay, so those are the 2 ways that you can build on your land parcel in Somnium. There's another thing which is amazing. It's called Somnium Worlds. So there's this open world that everybody walks around and hangs out in, does all this metaverse stuff in the shared world. But you could build your own sub-world, I'll call it. If you get the Unity SDK, you create anything that you can imagine, anything that you want, as it's like its own distinct world, and then you put a portal to it on your parcel in the open world here. So let's say that you built a super cool nightclub world that was big enough to hold 2,000 people in it. It had a huge grandstand or something like that. Okay, so you have this big detailed world for this big event that you have. It's not going to fit on your parcel. Let's say you only have 1 parcel. So after you build that, you spawn your portal to your Somnium world on your parcel here, and you just direct people to it. So they still come to your building in the open world to come to the event, but after they get here, instead of just coming out here and hanging out, they walk over to the portal. Let's say that this image was the portal. And they click on the portal, or they touch the portal, or whichever device they're using. And then they get teleported, they get transported. Not a teleport like around the open world, they get transported into your completely different world, your huge event world that you created. Those are NFTs also. The Somnium world is an NFT, just like the teleporters are an NFT. So you can do all kinds of stuff. There's a whole spectrum of things that you could build with and difficulty levels associated with them. I'm doing the absolute easiest right now, but here's how you would make fire on this one. You would simply just, make a sprite of fire. Any image because I'm in easy mode here. And then you just drop the image in. And you have your fire. Now, when you do a flat fire like this, it's only going to look right from certain angles, so you'd want to put it against a wall or something like this. And then you wouldn't want it to just be burning on the ground, so you'd probably make a fire pit for it with a cylinder like this. Now, if you were doing this thing in the Unity SDK using Blender or something like that, you would basically be doing the same thing, but you'd be way more involved with each step. You would use a particle system for the fire. You would, instead of just dropping a shape down, like I'm doing for the fire pit, you would take the time to like 3D model rocks or something around the same shape, but it would be way more detailed. So there is easy mode fire. But if you wanted to make more detailed fire, you absolutely could. Okay, let me click save here. Let me bring up the web thing. This is parcel number 592. I don't think I'm in the Twitch chat on this computer, so I'll just type it out over here. I'm this guy, Anarchy Arcade, in the Twitch chat. So here's the link, somniumspace.com/parcels/592. I believe I typed that right, so if you jump into there, you can walk around. Oops, I'll just log in as a guest. You can walk around and check everything out. The Twitch live isn't, or the Twitch stream isn't live yet, so you wouldn't be able to watch that. Okay, things are looking good. And I still have parcel credits left over to soup things up a little bit. How about up there? I think that seems to be the weakest spot here, is up on the second story. There's a cool way to get there, but there's not a lot happening up there. Let's see if we can fix that. Absolutely, there is land for rent. You can rent a builder also. What I mean by that is somebody like me. If you have access to a parcel, even if you rented it yourself, it doesn't have to be your parcel, but if you have a parcel available to you and you want to build something on it, and you don't want to get good at anything, you don't want to get good at even easy mode here. I mean, it does take some playing around with to get good with easy mode here. You could just jump into the Somnium Space Discord, and there's a hire a builder channel. You just post in there that, hey, I'm looking to hire somebody to build this event for, or this parcel, build on this parcel for some event that you have coming up, a few details. You'll have people replying with samples of their work, like, oh, that sounds cool, here's some of the buildings that I've made in the past, some of the other parcels. And then you just connect with them in a DM, you get the land rented to them, they build the thing for you, and then you have your event there. Now, as far as finding a parcel to rent, I am not sure what the process is for that. There's probably a Discord for that also. But I'm not sure if the I know that parcels for sale are listed on like NFT marketplaces. Don't know if parcels for rent are. So that's another thing that you'd have to check in the Discord about. Well, that's cooler up there. I think we're good here. Well, maybe we could do one more of this image on the outside. Could put something on the outside here, but I'm not sure what. I already used that image twice. This, I don't think it makes sense to put on the outside twice. Maybe I want to put this picture on the inside somewhere. I think we're good. We got 8 parcel credits dwindling there, plus the 50 for putting the teleport back, I think. We got the Twitch stream in there, awesome. Everything still looks good, even with the reduced lighting. I think we're good here. So I'm going to click save and upload here for the final time in this build. It's not always snow. It is snow because it's winter time. Perhaps a bit of a Christmas theme. I think the Christmas tree is still up at City Center. Usually it is grass, but the open world kind of evolves. So sometimes your build is surrounded by grass, sometimes your build is surrounded by snow. There's wild animals too. I haven't spotted one wandering onto one of my parcels, but I would imagine that sometimes they wander onto them, unless they're just in wilderness zones. But yeah, you control what is in your parcel. The world around it, it changes sometimes, but it stays relatively the same. There's never gonna, well, I don't think, I've never seen like an earthquake that just causes a crevice or something, because that would need a new bridge and all that. So just mild changes throughout the year. Okay. We're good here. I've seen a storm before. I think it was a rainstorm. It might be snowing when it's Christmas time here. But yeah, the weather effects are pretty nice. I love particle effects. I mentioned the particle effects in that event that I was at City Center. Particle effects are awesome, and the weather is definitely how some of the particle effects make their way into Somnium space here. Okay, so we're looking good here. I'll just check it out in web one more time. Or actually, I'll check it out in VR one more time. Dox myself with my unlock pattern here. And yeah, after you get into Somnium, by the way, the first time you get into Somnium, stuff's all loading in. So like if you see a green grid wall going up around certain parcels, that means that the stuff is loading. So you just chill out, look at something nearby, and then after it pops in, and it caches after that. So the next time you come, it's going to be there like right away. So let's see here. That sign looks good. Got the Twitter on there, the Discord, the website, the dates. Cool. We still got a light out here to look good at nighttime. By the way, am I at daytime? Let's change this to nighttime. Nice. Cool. The light up there makes it visible. Otherwise, it'd be really dark over here. It'd just be lit by moonlight. Is the moon out today? No, it's not. It's supposed to be like that part of the night. Okay, so coming here, looking good. Everything looks awesome. Nothing's floating off the ground. Actually, that is floating off the ground a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust that and check these other ones. That one's good. Got the Twitch stream. That one looks good too. It's only that one over there that was floating off the ground. Cool. All right, gonna just fix that thing and then call it a build. Yeah, speaking of the NFT integration, I mentioned all the ways of locomotion. You know, like gliding or driving or kayaking. The cars and the kayaks are NFTs also. So if you see somebody driving around with a car, be impressed. Now, if you go to the racetrack, there's sometimes racing events where everybody can try driving the cars around. But if you see somebody just cruising around, that's their car, man. Okay, let's fix that thing. Maybe it's their friend's car, but either way, it's a unique item. Yeah, well, I don't know if there are any right now. Recently, there was a land offering where, like, the unused land's been waiting for its go, auctions off. That happened already, though. So, I'm not sure if there's a fourth land offering that's planned. Maybe there is. Secondary market is usually where it's at, though. And for a lot of people, the renting market is where it's at, because owning land is one thing. Renting land is something completely different. And it works out well for having events, unless you want something there always. If you just have an event plan, like it sounds like you do, I think renting is definitely the way to go. And I clicked upload, and we're good to go here. I kind of want to export this as a GLB just to see what it looks like. I'm going to do it. Export. Texture out this size. That big. GLB, yeah. So what I'm doing right now is just playing around with the export settings. Let's see if that spit it out the way that I wanted. Wow, that was so quick. Nice. So it looks like the transparent textures, I have to tweak those wherever I would take this to. But it worked. There's the GLB version of the whole thing. Pretty awesome. You take the GLB versions and port them to other places, store them on your memory shelf. There's some VR home spaces that support GLB objects, so you could quite literally take the GLB of the parcel that you built and put it on your shelf if you use one of those VR home apps like Steam VR Home or Oculus Home. All right, that's going to be the conclusion of the stream for today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Once again, I'm SM Sith Lord, and this is the weekly Somnium Space build stream that I do right here on twitch.tv/Somnium Space, or the YouTube or the Periscope. Shout out to everybody tuning in across the spectrum there. Speaking of spectrum, all these colors going on here. So I'll be back next week, 9 a.m. Friday, right here to do another 2-hour build session. But of course, there's other things happening over the weekend and throughout the week. And I just wanted to mention one in particular, the hard mode build stream. I was explaining how this is easy mode here, building with primitives and stuff like that. There's somebody else that comes on and uses the Unity SDK to do all kinds of crazy stuff. That happens, I'm not exactly sure when, but some point over the weekend. I always see the little message pop up saying that the creator stream has begun. So if you follow the channel, you'll get that too. Thanks for hanging out and talking, and I'll see you all next week. Later on, everybody.